Hi, my name is Paul Moynagh, and today I want to talk to you about 3 levels that you can apply to improve results in your operation. So, probably 15 years ago, I was lucky enough to sail at the Far 40 World Champs in Sardinia. And one of the things I noticed there was that the yachts that were sailing were amazing at getting the basics right. They didn't make mistakes. They also had great boat speed, and they were very strategic. So in comparison to the kind of guys that I was sailing across at local clubs, they had both the basics, awesome boat speed, and good strategy. And so I thought about that from a perspective of operations improvement. I thought, well, I wonder whether the kinds of things that you focus on to win a yacht race, or any kind of sport for that matter, are similar to what happens in an operation. And so, having thought about that, and I was about to go to an interview, I put this little model together. And so, just to kind of use sailing as a metaphor, if you are trying to win a yacht race, you've got to get the basics right. First thing you start on was the basics. So you've got to be able to get the sails up and down. You've got to go and know where the course is. You need to be able to tack the boat and jibe. You need to be able to do maneuvers. People need to know their jobs. You need to be able to plan to get the boat in the water at the right time, at the right place, get to the start line, all that kind of stuff. And so from a management perspective in operations, that to me is really similar to planning, roles and responsibilities, and the basic kind of continuous improvement processes, the plan, do, check, act kind of stuff. So management operating systems, MOS, sits right in there. The plan, do, check, act cycle sits in there. And if you're doing that kind of stuff well, then you're better than most people, because most operations don't do this kind of stuff very well. And most yachts don't do this kind of stuff very well. But when you do, it creates a huge competitive advantage. So getting those basics right are critical. If you drop a sail in the water, you can't win a yacht race. If you have an issue where you don't have a plan, it's very unlikely that the work that people are going to do every day will be organised, and there'll be lots of waste, lots of issues, lots of lost opportunity. The second level that you can compete at in a yacht race is at boat speed. And for a yacht, that's all about having great trim. New sails, trimmed well by great people that know how they're doing what they're doing. The right weight in the right place. You want to clean the hull, make sure things are really fast and slick. And you also want everybody on the team thinking fast, and that's an important thing to consider. So, in a business sense, it's quite similar. So, once you've got the basics right, things like lean and Six Sigma and the theory of constraints and design of experiments, etc., enable you to think about how you're going to squeeze just a bit more speed, a bit more efficiency, a little bit less waste out of your process. And I would say that one of the reasons that a lot of Six Sigma and lean initiatives that have been put out there over the last 10 to 20 years have failed is because a lot of them have focused on this continuous improvement area without getting the basics right. So in this factory I worked at in New Zealand, we were doing a continuous improvement project where we had all this kind of way of optimizing these plastic bag machines. But it wasn't until we actually had a system while which those optimized setting conditions were given back to the operators every single day, so that when they ran that plant, they ran it at the right settings, that those actual improvements were able to be realized by the company. So that was the basics. So the continuous improvement sitting on a foundation of good basics. So on the third level, which is sometimes doesn't come into operations, but I think it's still important, is the direction that you sail. So in a yacht race, if you're on the correct side of the course, when the wind shift comes through, you get all of this kind of benefit that the other boats don't get. Boat speed and basics will get you into the right place at the right time and allow you to be strategic and to make those choices, because if you don't have those skills, you just won't be able to make the decisions to move to that kind of place. But there's no doubt that choosing the right kind of trucks and matching them to the right kind of digger makes a big difference to performance. Choosing the right kind of equipment for your longwall or the right kind of mining process makes a big difference to your long-term performance. And those kind of decisions are often made at the top of those kind of organizations. However, they all sit. If you're not managing this stuff well and not doing that stuff well, you won't be able to receive the benefits that you expect out of that kind of, those kind of strategic decisions. So this is in yacht, and this is, things like strategic conversations and plans on a page, that kind of stuff. So hopefully what I'm basically trying to show here is that get the basics right. Use a product like Fusion to help you get a plan into the hands of supervisors, to perform short interval control, to learn on a day-by-day basis, to continuously improve the way you operate your basics in your operation. And then you'll probably find really quickly after getting all that basic stuff right that these kind of things, these Lean, these Six Sigmas will start to actually deliver results. And then you'll be heading off in the right direction. Thanks.